Hello and welcome to Feed the Ultimate Beast with me, the most derpy one, aka MrSuryt. So we've got all our solar panels down. We've actually put a few extra. That should be providing us with quite a lot of power to run our Applied Energistics room, and that's exactly what we're using it for. We also added a few more MFEs, well, just to keep the power going overnight, that is. Solar panels, one of the cheaper ways of powering anything, but just because it's free power really once you've got them made, but it's also only available during the day, of course. So anyway, let's go through here. Back through here. Had enough of all this. It's a bit of tin. What do we got here? More tin. How odd. Sick of this barrel system, always clogging up. We are finally making our Applied Energistics room. I've planned this a few times, built it, deconstructed it, built it, deconstructed it, added a few new things, changed a few new things, just seen some monazite all go through. I don't want that in there, thank you very much. Anyway, I've finally come to a layout that I'm happy enough with. We'll leave it at that. So, without further ado, let's get started. Now, the very first item we're going to need is one of these. Well, actually, I've accidentally clicked on it already. So it's one of these here. An ME controller made with iron ingots, quartz crystals, and an ME advanced processor. This is your starting point for Applied Energistics. You will need one of these. Pretty much all Applied Energistics systems will need one of these. However, you can only have one per system. Not the cheapest item in the world. We have one right here. To make the advanced processor, the very middle item here, you need, first of all, to make one of these, an advanced processor assembly. That's a redstone, silicon, a diamond, and a quartz cutting knife. You then whack this in a furnace. Obviously, I've put it through a powered furnace, and that will get you the ME advanced processor. Relatively, it's not the most expensive thing in the world, but it is something that's probably a little too expensive early game, which is why this is not an early game sorting system. Now the silicon is just your quartz dust smelted. There you go, quartz dust becomes silicon. The quartz dust and the quartz, of course, you get both of those from digging them up in the ground. You can also turn quartz crystal into quartz dust. But, well, you need a lot of quartz crystal as well. You get a pretty even amount of it. There you go, quartz crystal pulverized gives you 4, for example. Anyway, one other thing you'll need is the quartz cutting knife made like so, sticks, 2 more pieces of quartz crystal, and another iron ingot. I've gone through a lot of these, and a warning up front, this here is a tool just like any other. It does have wear. It's not like the wrench. I guess it's not like any other. It does have wear. You will use it up each time you use it. However, the auto crafting table still has that annoying little bug where it uses tools up in one go. Now, it works with a handsaw as well. If you've got a diamond handsaw you put in the auto crafting table to cut something up, you'll lose it with one use. Same with the quartz cutting knife. So don't use it in the auto crafting table. Not like I've done. Sorry, just had to stop for a second to cough. Anyway, MFE control. That's your starting point. Next item we're going to be looking at, I'll place these down once I've got a few items, is the ME cable. The ME cable is both a power cable and a transport pipe. Your items will go through the ME cable. Power will also go through the ME cable. The good thing about Applied Energistics is power and items will actually go through the blocks. So if you were smart enough to put all your blocks that you make together in the one little spot, you won't need a single cable. They will work just straight next to each other. I'm going to spread mine out though. Just for looks more than anything. Now I've already got 31 of these. Same deal, I'd already clicked on them. I'm hoping I don't need more than these. There is power consumed with cable. With each item that you add to the system, there is power used up. The cable, I believe it's 32 cables you get before it uses a unit of power. And I want to keep that as minimal as possible. Okay, so we've got the cable. Now the next item is probably not the next item many would start with. Most would go for the chest. Where's the chest? Be in here somewhere. There. Here's your chest. Made like so. Iron ingots, a chest, glass, and a conversion matrix. We'll get to the conversion matrix. You use a few of those. The Emmy chest, that will store one. This will make more sense when we get to the Emmy storage disks. But it'll house one storage disk or one storage disk worth of items in it. The ME drive, however, will hold 10 storage disks. So quite literally 10 times as much as a chest. Which is why I'm going straight to the ME drive. It does have its disadvantages. That being the chest, you can pull items, you can go straight up to the chest, look inside, I want that item, pull it out. The ME drive, you cannot access items through it. You will need another item in order to pull items out. But anyway, to the ME drive, how to make it: iron ingots in the corners, chest in the middle, glass blocks in your 4 and 6, and then in your 2 and 8, you need an ME basic processor. These are made very similar to the ME advanced processor, except instead of a diamond you use a piece of gold. That gets you the basic processor assembly, and then you smelt that into your basic processor. You do use quite a few basic processors in Applied Energistics, so yeah, be prepared to make quite a few of these. We will take that. Thank you very much. Now this is the basic system. There's one more item we need before we are pretty much ready to set up a very basic system, and that will be an access terminal. The access terminal made with glass in your 9, 6 and 3, iron ingots in your 8, 7, 1 and 2, an ME cable. You do use ME cables in the production of a number of blocks in Applied Energistics. So yep, you will make a few more than you need. Well, a few more than you need to lay them out. Anyway, conversion matrix. We haven't seen how to make this yet. I've said, well, got an extra one of you in there. You do use a few of these, and this is how it's made. Iron ingots in the outside corners, quartz crystal top and bottom middle, redstone in your side middle, and another basic processor in the very middle. That'll get you a conversion matrix. I'm going to take this conversion matrix, because we may end up using it later on. So we'll take the ME access terminal as well. Little EU reader I was using to see how much power was coming through. Okay, so this is what we need for the very basic setup. You do need to power this system. I've got, of course, we've already mentioned, I've got the solar panels outside. I think it's a 2-to-1 ratio for EU and to the Applied Energistics power. I think it's 2 Applied Energistics power, you get 2 from 1 EU. I think that's the way it works. Yeah. Buildcraft is 5-to-1. But anyway, let's plonk down our controller, and straight away, when you click on it, we get this little fancy interface. Well, it looks pretty plain actually. It will get far more complicated as we add items. ME controller, online, energy used 6 units per tick. It's constantly using 6 units per tick. And you can see it is powered up. It does have sort of an internal buffer. If I was to take away this glass fibre cable, it would slowly drop down, but it would still keep running for a little bit. Okay, so the next item we're going to add is going to be the access terminal. We just plonk it straight next to it, and you can see it straight away lit up. The access terminal is exactly what you'd expect it to be. That's where you access your items. Now you remember we're using an Emmy drive instead of an Emmy chest, so the only way we can pull items out of the system will be through something like the Emmy Terminal. And if we look in here, we now see that it is the access terminal is added to the Emmy controller. It shows you what item is there, and you can see that we're now using 7 units per tick. If we just click right here, that was possibly a little too quick. So for 44 ticks, roughly 4, yeah, it's using up 4 EU, and that's for 7 units, so it's probably a little over 7, I guess. Anyway, next item. I'm actually going to put down some ME cable next. I will move all this around, but I want, let's see, we're going to have this over here. Hope it doesn't get too dark. Like so. I will move this around, just planting something in the middle here, and we will see that eventually. But this here is, wait, this here is not yet the system. We need the storage. The storage, we're just going to put some chests, some ME drives along here. And you can see it's got 10 grayed out spots here. That's where you store your ME storage disk. Let's get going, because this is not enough. It's not everything we want. We also want an ME crafting terminal. Now the ME crafting terminal, it actually uses an access terminal, and you probably don't need the access terminal. You can access all your stuff through the crafting terminal. I want both, so I'm having both. Deal with it. The crafting terminal, again, as the name would suggest, it's a terminal you can craft using your items in your storage in. That's going to make more sense once I show you. Recipe: glass block in the 9 and 3 spot, iron ingots in your 7, 8, 1 and 2, a crafting table in your 4, and a storage cell in your very center spot. Storage cells, you will make a few of these. The storage cell is made like so. Redstone in your corners, quartz crystal in the outside middle spots, and another basic processor in the very center. That gets you a storage cell. This is the basic storage, storage cell, of course. You do use these, you upgrade these to make more advanced storage disks. We'll get into that in a bit. Anyway, let's make the crafting terminal. And we'll whack that down right here. If we look in here now, we'll see that we've got 13 cable, 1 terminal, 1 ME disk, ME disk, and 1 ME drive, that's the one. And we've got our new crafting terminal, using up 10 units. And you can see it builds up pretty quick. The more of these that I store, that I have in the system, the more power it's going to use as well. Okay, let's just explain how this one here works. Well, it's very simple. This is items in your inventory, or not in your inventory, in your system. And this is crafting. So if I had items, I can't put them in now because I don't have the ME drive set up right, but just say I had items in here, bit of cobblestone say, I can just take it out and craft in here. When I pull the item out, it won't use the recipe here, it will actually take it from the system to craft. Very nice, very neat. Anyway, next item. A crafting monitor. This item, again, it's probably a luxury item. made with glass in your 9, 6 and 3, iron ingots in your 8, 7, 1 and 2, another ME cable and another basic processor. So let's plonk this down, have a quick little look at it. So what this is, it's crafting monitor. When you're crafting something through the system, automating the crafting process that is, this here will show you the currently crafting. It'll also show you if it's missing an item, what it's missing, what you have to add into the system for it to continue crafting. You can of course also cancel the jobs through here. Oops, I wanted one of those and I just clicked on 64. Well, go in here and you can cancel it. As long as you're quick enough, because the system is very quick. What are we up to? 11 units. Oh, geez. It's getting up there. Where are we up to? We'll end up using a few more of those. Ah. Now this here is, well, to be honest, it's needed more than the crafting terminal and the crafting monitor. In fact, it's one of the more vital parts of Applied Energistics, and that's your storage disks. Now there are several different ones. You've got the 1K, you've got the 4K, 16K, 64K. Obviously, the larger ones will hold more units, more items. Now the idea behind the storage disks and the storage in Applied Energistics in general is that your items are stored electronically. They're not physically there, I suppose. They are stored on a disk, and you pull them out of a disk. So obviously you want the largest storage you possibly can, being the 64s. Problem with 64s is, holy hell, they are expensive. The largest one that I can afford at present, unfortunately it's not even the 16K, it is the 4K. And they are made like so. Iron ingots along the bottom, along your 1, 2, 3. Redstone in your 4, 8 and 6. Glass in your 7 and 9. And the storage segment in the very center. So not a storage cell, a storage segment. The 1K storage, they use the storage cell, but the 4K uses a storage segment. Storage segment is 3 storage cells upgraded. You also need a basic processor, more redstone and another glass block. So you need 3 storage cells to make 1 storage segment. And the reason why 16K is so much more expensive, you need a storage block, which is made from upgrading 3 storage segments. And you need 3 storage cells to upgrade each of these. You also need an advanced processor, which is another diamond. Once you go to 64K, you need a storage cluster, which is 3 storage blocks. Each storage block is 3 storage segments. Each storage segment is 3 storage cells. You can see how this builds up. It is very expensive to get to the 64K. Very expensive early game at any rate. Of course, the basic storage cell, we've already seen how that's made. But anyway, 10. I've got 10 of these 4K storage disks. They do not stack. There is a reason I am making 10 of, and that is because the Emmy drive takes 10. This is where you store them. Let's get the one more. Wrong one. Right there. And we'll whack it in here. Now you can see they're all lit up and they're all green. You can format these, you can make these so that they only take a particular type of resource. So you can make it so that the only thing allowed on this storage disk is cobblestone. All your cobblestone will go onto this disk. 4,096 bytes worth. Yeah, you can do that. However, I'm in a single player, so it doesn't really bother me that it'll be all higgledy-piggledy. It may get a little bit annoying if I have cobblestone here and here and here and here, and eventually I've clogged up with cobblestone and I can't accept any more items. At that point I will probably I'll probably make it so that these can only store certain types. Maybe too late by then, but I'm not going to bother about it just yet. I don't expect to have a large enough amount of resources for that. The other option for me will be to add more ME drives with more of these. But anyway, we'll get to that eventually. And I'm lagging. Well, that's brilliant. We have got a basic system set up. I'm going to just stop for a sec. Okay, we are back. I am out of room on my computer to record with, so we are going to cut this into 2 episodes so that I can render this down. But we'll quickly have a look. There's one more item I'll make in this episode, and we'll get to that in a second. One thing I'm going to show you, just using the Emmy Terminal here, if I was to place a couple of items in here, they are in the system. They are now in the system. That is, one of these disks here, this one here, funny enough, is now using 33 of 4,906 bytes and 1 type. Now, obviously I did not put in 33 items, I only put in 2 items. It does not correspond exactly. It all depends on the item, I think. I could be wrong about that, but basically, yeah, bytes used. Don't think, okay, I've got 4,000 items I can put in here. It's not the case. The types, 1 of 63 types, what that means is 63 different items can go in there. Not 63 of one item, 63 of anything, really. So I can have monazite, cinnabar, tin, or there's a reason I've got all these here. I can have 63 different items, in each storage disk. All the different size disks, I should have explained this earlier, have 63, maximum 63 types that can go into it. You can't go any more than that. So yeah, it's only the number of items. One other thing I should show you about the storage. Oops, we've blocked up here. That's alright because I needed some lead. We'll use some cobble here. There we go. That'll do. Now if we add cobble to this system, you can see we've got a stack of cobble in there. Watch what happens when I add another thing of cobble. It adds it straight on top of it. There you go. It does not spread it out. You don't have to search through 10,000 stacks of cobble to get to your items. It stores them together. So yeah, I don't know that there is a maximum to the storage either, which I'm pretty sure there isn't, which means it just keeps building up and you don't have to search through everything. You can, obviously you've seen I keep hitting E up here, you can type things in to search them, to make searching for things easier. There is 3 other little things on this side here, tabs: view, sort order, and sort by. Sort by item name, number of items, priority cell order, item name, etc. It's all pretty self-explanatory. The next one, toggle sorting direction, in or up down. So sort by number of, sort by item name, going backwards, forwards, etc. The items that can be crafted or items that are just stored is what this tab is. So I've got stored items selected at the moment, and that's all the items I have stored in there. Craftable, I don't have any crafting. We'll get into the crafting, auto crafting later on. But, oh, we're starting to lag. But that is just another quick little look at the Emmy Terminal. Okay, can we get... Oh, don't hit E, hit escape. Yep. Oh, it's going to be a lot of work putting this episode together. I'll just cut there and come back in a sec. Not much room left on my computer. We'll see how long we last. We'll go to the very next item to craft, and this will be the last one for this episode, and that is an import bus. There is ME import and export bus. We just want an import for the time being. We may use an export at a later date. The import imports items into the system. That's how it works. Export exports them out of the system. Made with, oh, bit of lag again, an ME cable, an ME interface, iron ingots, and a sticky piston. Okay, the interface. We are going to make a few of these, and I've actually got them over there ready to be made. I should have just kept them all here. But anyway, it's made with iron ingots in your outside corners, glass in the top, right and bottom outside middle sections, another ME cable, and a conversion matrix. That gets you the ME interface. We're going to take both ME import buses because we will end up needing both of them. And what we're going to do with that, now you've seen me add items to the system. I just come over here and I click and in it goes. Oh, I should also say you can just take the items out and try to stack them. They don't stack like that, sorry. Now, that is of course not the only way to do it. This cable I will be moving into a different spot later. Oops, we don't want that there. Let's see. You know what? I've never had to remove, just a pickaxe, I've never had to remove one of them whilst I'm not in creative. Anyway, we want the import bus right here. You do use a wrench to move these, Buildcraft wrench that is. You can use just about any of the Buildcraft compatible wrenches. There is a specific wrench for this mod. And it is quartz. I'm just gonna collect you. Made using quartz. I think I've got some more quartz here. Wow, I've got a lot more than I thought. See if we can't remember this recipe. How easy is that? That's your quartz wrench. It works exactly the same as a normal wrench, so I'm not actually going to make one of them, but anyway, let's get on with it. Let's get on with it. We will use a normal wrench. Just click and it will eventually turn. Oh, you've just seen a little flash right there. What that flash was, items in the ender chest. This is connected up to my quarry, if you remember. And it is nighttime, which is why there's nothing in it. That little flash was it connecting up to the system. And if we click over here, you'll see we now have an import bus on here. So let's have a little look at it working. Let's put the cobblestone. Watch how quick it goes. Gone. Gone. You can, these corner points, I'm not sure if you noticed it, but there was a little flash of energy. Come over here and have a look. 97, two different types. Obviously we've got the cobblestone. Wrong one. And the iron ore blocks. And the cobblestone is now gone into here. It's in the system. Let's see. Thankfully it has put it all into the one. We'll see how smart the system is as we go along. So basically, once our quarry gets running, the quarry is using this ender chest here, white. Items come into the ender chest. They will be sucked using the import bus straight in to the system and stored. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. This here is the import bus. You can have it always active without a signal, active with a signal. I just leave it once per pulse. I just leave it always active. I would be able to turn it off, I guess, if I want to go back to the barrels or something, maybe. Oops, no, don't want that. Then you've got down here, move single items, move stacks of items. Single stacks. It makes, I don't really need to explain that, I'm pretty sure. Makes perfect sense. One other thing I need to explain about this system. you can see we're now up to 23 units of Applied Energistics energy, which that is 24 EU per tick we're averaging. It's only a very quick test, but let's just have another slightly longer one. But basically, yeah, we are using up 12 again. It's going to be very consistent. We are using up the power. Right now it's night time, so we are using it up, I should say. During the day, though, we are going to be making enough to refill these MFEs. When you perform an action, however, there is a spike in the power used. You actually use power to perform an action. An action such as taking items out, putting items in and crafting an item. These actions do use up power. They do spike the system. Which is why I have so many solar panels, and I'm hoping it's enough, to be honest, because once we are constantly pulling things out of this chest, we will be draining power. So anyway, that is going to be the episode. Next episode is going to be, once I've rendered this episode together, just for lag, next episode is going to be the crafting. Automated crafting through this system. We are going to add a few neat little things. We're going to put powered furnace and a pulverizer into the system. We're also going to be using, thank you vendor from Mixtape Craft for showing me these, the energy bridge. Brilliant. Love them. But anyway, we are going to be using the energy bridge to power powered furnace and a pulverizer in this system. Could have just used IC2 electric furnace and macerator, but I want to use thermal expansion because I want to use the bridge. Anyway, that's for next episode. Hopefully you've got something from this episode. Hopefully I'll see you the next half of this of our Applied Energistics, setting up a system. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye bye.